Birmingham, England, 3 a.m. A white transit van rolls up to a quiet street. Two men step out. One carries an angle grinder. 53 seconds later, they are gone. And so is a motorcycle worth £28,000. The owner is asleep 30 feet away. He will not know until morning. By then, the bike will be stripped at a warehouse. Within a week, those parts will be in a shipping container bound for West Africa. This happens every single night across the world. But here is what shocked me when I dug into the data. That expensive Ducati? It is not actually what thieves want most. The real target is something nobody would ever suspect. It is a Honda PCX 125, a scooter, the kind of bike delivery drivers ride, the kind teenagers use to get to their part-time jobs, a motorcycle most people would not look twice at. And that is exactly why it is the most stolen motorcycle on Earth. Everything we think we know about motorcycle theft is basically wrong. The expensive bikes, the flashy superbikes, the machines we assume thieves are targeting, they are not even close to the top of the list. The real targets are the boring ones, the cheap ones, the motorcycles nobody bothers to lock up because they assume no thief would want them. So let us talk about what is actually happening out there. Trust me, it gets way crazier than you would expect. Let's start with the numbers because they're honestly insane. In 2022, the National Insurance Crime Bureau recorded 54,736 motorcycle thefts in the United States alone. That is a 26% increase since 2019. California accounted for nearly a third of those thefts, with 9,838 stolen motorcycles in a single year. But the United States is not even close to the worst. India recorded 224,187 motorcycle thefts in 2023. That is over 4,000 bikes stolen every week. In Mumbai, two-wheelers make up 72% of all vehicle thefts, and the recovery rate is just 27%. That means 162,000 motorcycles simply vanished forever. Italy loses one motorcycle every 16.5 minutes. That adds up to 31,856 two-wheelers stolen in 2023 alone. Naples and the surrounding Campania region are ground zero, with over 6,000 thefts per year. Germany saw motorcycle theft spike 22% in 2023 to nearly 29,000 cases. The insurance industry there reports that motorcycles face a theft rate 3.5 times higher than cars. And the United Kingdom, despite having some of the strictest vehicle registration systems in the world, logged over 18,000 stolen motorcycles between June 2022 and May 2023. So who's getting their bikes stolen? This is where it gets interesting. When you look at the actual data, a pattern emerges that completely contradicts what most people assume. In the UK, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency tracks every stolen motorcycle by make and model, and the 2024 rankings are wild. The Honda PCX 125 claimed the top spot, with 1,866 reported thefts. Second place went to the Yamaha NMAX 125. Third was the Yamaha YBR 125. Fourth, the Lex Mojo 125. Fifth, the Honda CB 125. You see the pattern here? They are all 125 cubic centimeter commuter bikes, small, lightweight scooters designed for city traffic and new riders, the kind of motorcycles that cost between 2,000 and 4,000 pounds brand new. Honda as a brand suffered 6,573 thefts in that period. That is 50% more than Yamaha in second place. Now compare that to what you would expect. Where are the Ducatis, the BMW S1000 RRs, the six-figure custom builds? They barely register on the theft statistics. A UK government study called the Bike Theft Index found that machines under 125 cubic centimeters account for 60% of all motorcycle thefts, while representing only 26% of registered bikes. Their theft rate is 85 per thousand registered. That is absolutely massive compared to larger motorcycles. So why are thieves ignoring the expensive stuff and going after scooters? The answer comes down to pure criminal economics. And once you understand it, everything makes sense. A Honda PCX 125 weighs about 130 kilograms. That's light enough for two people to physically lift into the back of a van. No need to hotwire it, no need to defeat electronic immobilizers. Just grab it and go. Twist and go. Automatic transmissions mean there is no clutch engagement needed to ride away. Any idiot can operate it. But here is the real genius from the thief's perspective. Parts for popular commuter bikes have the largest secondhand market. A stolen Honda PCX engine or body panel sells quickly online with no questions asked. There are millions of those bikes on the road, so the parts are always in demand. Meanwhile, try selling a Ducati Panigale V4 fairing. It is conspicuous. It is traceable. The market is tiny. Anyone buying knows exactly what they are getting. The other factor is security. An insurer survey in France found that 85% of stolen motorcycles had no security devices at all. Most commuter riders skip protection entirely because they assume their cheap bike is not worth stealing. That assumption is costing them everything. But wait, there is one massive exception to this pattern. One expensive motorcycle that thieves absolutely cannot resist. In France, the Mutuelle des Motards insurance company publishes annual theft rankings. And for multiple years running, the same bike has topped their list. The BMW R 1250 GS. This is a €25,000 adventure touring motorcycle, the best-selling adventure bike on the planet. The kind of machine you see loaded with panniers, crossing continents, featured in every long-distance motorcycle travel documentary ever made. And thieves love it. Why does this particular expensive bike get stolen so much when other pricey machines get ignored? 3 reasons. First, global demand massively outstrips supply. The R 1250 GS is worshipped by adventure riders worldwide. But in developing markets across Africa, Eastern Europe, and Central Asia, authorized BMW dealerships are scarce. If you want one, you either pay astronomical import fees or you buy one that fell off a truck, sometimes literally. Second, and this is crucial, the parted out value exceeds the whole bike black market price by a factor of 1.5 to 2 times. Think about that. Thieves make more money cutting these bikes into pieces than selling them whole. The Bosch TFT display alone costs approximately £1,200 to replace. And here is the insane part. It is secured by 3 plastic snap rings. You can remove it by hand in seconds without any tools. Just pop it off. LED adaptive headlights, the shift cam boxer engine assembly, electronic suspension components, carbon fiber body panels. Every single part commands premium prices with no serial number verification required. Third, BMW's keyless comfort access system is vulnerable to relay attacks. One thief holds a device that amplifies the key fob signal from inside your house. Another thief holds a second device near the bike. The bike thinks the key is right there, and it unlocks. The whole process takes under 18 seconds. The relay attack equipment ranges from $22 for basic kits to $36,000 for the advanced gear that organized groups use. The expensive stuff comes from suppliers in Lebanon, according to multiple law enforcement sources. In November 2025, French gendarmerie arrested 4 suspects in the Grenoble area who were responsible for stealing 35 BMW GS models from tourist hotel parking lots across 5 departments in just 5 months. 35 bikes, 5 months, 1 crew. But stealing the bikes is just the beginning. Where do they actually go? The export routes are well documented by law enforcement agencies across Europe, and they point to some genuinely disturbing destinations. Stolen European motorcycles ship in containers through major commercial ports: Rotterdam, Antwerp, Le Havre. These are massive facilities handling millions of containers each year. The destinations are West African ports including Cotonou in Benin, Lagos in Nigeria, and Lomé in Togo. Only approximately 2% of shipping containers are physically inspected at destination ports. That means 98 out of every 100 containers roll through customs completely unchecked. Dr. Ken German, a former Metropolitan Police stolen vehicle squad officer, has researched these networks extensively. His findings are alarming. Armed groups in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger place standing orders requiring roughly 1,000 motorcycles per week. 1,000. Every week. They purchase at inflated prices as bikes move inland from port cities, because motorcycles are essential for insurgent operations across the Sahel region. Your stolen Honda PCX might literally be funding armed conflict in West Africa right now. The other major route runs east. Stolen machines travel by truck to Eastern Europe, with Ukraine specifically named in law enforcement briefings as a destination where websites openly advertise bikes that are obviously stolen from the UK. Italian police note that within 48 hours of theft, 90% of stolen bikes are either cannibalized for parts or exported. 48 hours. That's the window. After that, your bike is essentially gone forever. So how do these theft rings actually operate? Professional motorcycle theft runs with corporate-level efficiency. There are defined roles: planners who scout targets, lookouts who watch for witnesses, drivers who operate the getaway vehicles, lifters who physically grab the bikes, mechanics who strip them down, and fences who sell the parts. Many rings work from what law enforcement calls theft order lists. They steal specific makes and models on commission from clients abroad. Someone in Benin wants BMW GS parts, the order goes out. Someone in Ukraine needs Yamaha MT-07 engines, consider it done. The dominant technique is brutally simple and terrifyingly fast. A transit van pulls up. 2 to 4 thieves exit. One cuts any locks with a battery-powered angle grinder. This takes under 60 seconds, even for heavy-duty chains. The others physically lift the motorcycle and load it into the van. Door closes, van drives away. The van is gone. Total elapsed time? Frequently under 1 minute. Security camera footage from Liverpool captured a gang stealing a 28,000 pounds Ducati Multistrada 4 in under 60 seconds. Bolt cutters on the chain, 4 men lifting. Van door closed. Gone. The owner was asleep in his house 30 feet away. For keyless bikes, relay attack equipment makes it even easier. No cutting, no noise, just electronic trickery and a bike that starts right up. Once stolen, motorcycles reach chop shops where they can be completely stripped in under 1 hour. The economics are compelling. Vehicle parts frequently hold more value when sold separately than the whole machine. Sport bike fairings, engine assemblies, electronics, exhaust systems, and wheels each find ready buyers through online marketplaces. A Suzuki GSX-R engine on eBay, a Honda CBR fairing on Facebook Marketplace, a Yamaha R6 exhaust on a forum classified section. No questions asked. Stripped parts get packed into shipping containers. A UK security analysis noted that you can fit a lightly stripped bike into a 50-gallon oil drum quite easily. Just compact the frame, stack the parts, and suddenly your container of industrial supplies is actually full of stolen motorcycle components. Let me walk you through some of the biggest busts, because they show just how organized these operations really are. New York City, 2019. Attorney General Letitia James indicted 11 individuals on 187 charges for stealing 43 motorcycles worth over $280,000. Police wiretaps revealed coded language the gang used. Busting a move meant stealing a bike. Chopping it up meant dismantling it. Stamping meant altering VIN numbers. These weren't amateurs, they had systems. City of London from 2020 to 2024. A gang led by a man named Louis Baldwin stole 57 bikes worth over 100,000 pounds using angle grinders during COVID lockdowns when streets were empty. After police finally made arrests, monthly motorcycle thefts in the city dropped from 68 to just 7. One crew was responsible for that entire crime wave. Hampshire, Dorset, and Wiltshire, 2023. 12 gang members stole 107 vehicles worth over 2 million pounds using signal boosters and GPS jammers. 7 different police forces collaborated over 12,000 investigator hours to bring them down. And at the international level, Interpol runs Operation Carback across 77 countries. In their 2022 operation alone, police identified 1,121 stolen cars and 64 motorcycles and arrested 222 people. Interpol's stolen motor vehicle database now holds over 12 million records. These busts are encouraging, but they reveal an uncomfortable truth about motorcycle theft. Recovery rates are absolutely terrible. In the United States, the NICB reports roughly 40 to 42% of stolen motorcycles are eventually recovered. That sounds okay, until you realize recovery rates for passenger cars are 60 to 70%. The motorcycle trend is declining. It was 46% in 2019. Now it is around 40%. International comparisons are even more depressing. Australia leads with 65% recovery. Canada manages 58%. The United States sits at around 42%. Italy manages 36%. France drops to 27%. And the United Kingdom, just 11 to 16% recovery. That is the worst among developed nations. The United Kingdom's dismal figure reflects a specific problem identified by the Motorcycle Industry Association. Recovery volumes have dropped significantly because stolen bikes are increasingly shipped abroad through ports rather than resold domestically. Once your bike leaves the country, it is gone. But there is a technology that completely changes these odds: GPS trackers. BikeTrack, a Thatcham-approved UK tracking system, claims a 94% recovery rate for equipped motorcycles. GeoRide reports that 90% of their tracked bikes are recovered within 24 hours. One case study stands out. A Birmingham rider named Doug had his KTM 950R stolen just 2 days after installing a Monomoto tracker. The device sent instant GPS coordinates to his phone. Police launched a pursuit with 3 patrol cars. The bike was recovered after 3.5 hours. His repair costs came in less than his insurance excess. 2 days with a tracker. Successful recovery. That is the difference this technology makes. So what actually prevents motorcycle theft? The data here is really clear, and honestly kind of frustrating, because the solutions are so simple. A basic disc lock costing £20 reduces theft risk by 67%, a 2/3 reduction from a 20 quid piece of metal. Adding a heavy-duty chain through the rear wheel to a ground anchor drops the risk to below 1 in 1,000. That actually makes the motorcycle less likely to be stolen than the average car. But 85% of stolen motorcycles had no security devices whatsoever. Think about that. Most victims made themselves easy targets by doing absolutely nothing. Thieves are rational economic actors. They want maximum profit with minimum risk and effort. A bike with a disc lock, a chain, and a cover takes longer to steal. Every extra minute increases the chance of getting caught. Most thieves will simply move to an easier target. The Motorcycle Industry Association in the UK reports that combined industry efforts have helped reduce thefts to their lowest levels since 2017, a 7.9% year-on-year decline through August 2024. When riders invest in security and manufacturers improve anti-theft features, the numbers actually go down. Layered security is the key. Disc lock as a visual deterrent. Heavy chain to an immovable object. Cover to hide what you have. GPS tracker as your insurance policy for when prevention fails. It is not about making your bike impossible to steal. It is about making it not worth the hassle compared to the completely unprotected bike down the street. So what is the takeaway from all of this? The motorcycle theft crisis is not primarily a story about flashy superbikes and daring heists. It is a story about volume, logistics, and rational criminal economics. The most stolen motorcycles in every major market are the most common ones. Honda PCX 125s in London, Honda SH 125s in Naples, Hero Splendors in Delhi, Honda Waves in Hanoi. Thieves are not romantic outlaws. They are business people optimizing for profit. And the business model favors stealing 10 cheap commuter bikes over 1 exotic superbike. The exception is the BMW R 1250 GS, where high resale value and export demand to conflict zones create a parallel theft economy targeting premium machines. If you own one, you are a target. Act accordingly. 3 facts should stick with you. Only 2% of shipping containers are physically inspected at destination ports. That is why stolen bikes disappear overseas so easily. Armed groups in the Sahel region order approximately 1,000 stolen motorcycles per week. Your stolen bike might literally be funding conflict. Using a disc lock can cut the risk by 67%. Yet the vast majority of victims use no security at all. The system is broken not because theft is unstoppable, but because the economics overwhelmingly favor the thieves. Low risk of arrest, high profit from parts resale, a global shipping network that moves stolen goods with near impunity. GPS trackers pushing recovery rates above 90% represent the most promising countermeasure, but adoption remains low. The gap between what works and what riders actually do is enormous. Do not be part of that gap. If this video opened your eyes to something you did not know about motorcycle theft, consider subscribing. I dig into stories like this regularly, going deep on topics the mainstream motorcycle media barely touches. If you want to see how police are using new technology to track and recover stolen bikes in real time, that video is on screen now. Protect your ride, lock it up, and maybe, just maybe, we can start to turn these numbers around.